So I think one of the best things that's come out of this referendum, this whole campaign period, is that young people have been engaged in politics in a way that I haven't really seen before. I've seen lots of 16, 17-year-olds out campaigning, posting things on Twitter, and when I was that age I found it really difficult to motivate my friends to care about politics. It was something that wasn't interesting to them, it was something they maybe didn't understand because nobody had explained it to them. But this generation of young people I see as being active and engaged and intelligent, educated about it, and I think that's a really good thing.
Very much so, especially with the vote being lowered to 16 and 17-year-olds.
Yes. I think it's been very accessible. I think schools, it's open debate up in schools, which has been excellent. It's encouraged young people to discuss it.
I think it's been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I'm not aware of what's been happening in these schools, but the talk just everywhere you go, on buses, you know, you're hearing young people just everywhere talking about it, the same as the rest of the population. And yeah, I think they're really politically engaged, and it's good to see. And I think the combination of that really was the big debate, where you just saw everyone getting involved, and they were so well informed.
I think it has, and judging by the number of young people that have been coming out to vote, particularly here, then I think that shows that it probably has been accessible. But I guess it's really for young people to answer, because they're the ones that know whether they've had their questions answered.
Yeah, definitely. I think that we've had a lot of opportunity. The fact that we're actually getting to vote in the first place makes it accessible to young people. But we've had the big debate for the 16 to 17-year-olds, and I think it's been really good. Yeah.
They do. I think from people I've spoken to outside of being active in politics, people seem very engaged one way or the other, and I think they realise that it is important.
I don't think people really do fully understand the significance. This is a one and only vote. If we say yes now, there is no going back. And there is no change. You're not going to get a chance in 4 years to change your mind about it.
I think most people do. People are definitely, in the last few weeks, have definitely begun to realise the magnitude of this. A year ago there were still a lot of people saying, oh, I'm not bothered, not voting, not interested, don't care. But as the campaign has gone on, people have realised just how important this is for the whole of the UK, not just for Scotland.
Definitely, otherwise they wouldn't be turning out in their droves today if they didn't understand the significance of it.
I fear that a lot of people don't understand just how significant it is, because I'm hearing an awful lot of people saying, oh well, you know, we could vote yes and just give it a try. And I think a lot of people don't understand that by giving it a try, you're saying goodbye to 300 years of unity, and potentially, you know, you're stuck with something to which we haven't got the answers yet.
Just because people have different opinions doesn't mean you can't live together, and I very much hope and believe that Scotland will go forward regardless of the outcome.
A lot of countries overseas now perceive Britain and the UK as being a much more divided country than they ever thought, and I think that's not necessarily a good thing.
I would like to believe that we'll all continue to be friends regardless of the outcome. There will always be the very small minority that aren't able to see things that way, but all the big protests that I've been to, there's been no trouble. There's been a couple of isolated incidents, but for the most part, while we may disagree on some core issues, the fact that people are campaigning for what they believe is right, I have just as much respect for them as I do for people campaigning on my side, so I think we'll all continue to be friends.
I think it's split Scotland strictly down the middle, and I feel that's a real shame. There are a lot of Scots who are upset with one another about the way they're voting, and I think that's a terrible attitude. We should be working together, and one of the reasons I'm voting that we're better together is we should be working together to make a better world.
Yes, I think that's undeniable. I think families have had arguments, friends have fallen out over it, but ultimately, you know, something so important, it's a small price to pay. People will be friends with again after the referendum. They're not going to fall out forever over this vote. And I really think on the 19th, whichever way the vote goes, people will come together and work for whatever the majority have decided.